One Piece chapter 1116 is titled Conflict. And I'm not gonna lie, I was on Twitter. I was seeing Roger, he was trending. I didn't see like any of the spoilers, but a lot of people are calling him fraud, or a fraud. And well, after reading this chapter, I'm not really sure why. I don't think there was anything, at least from my comprehension, to say that what he did, or him being the Pirate King, like he was a fraud in obtaining that title. So I don't know why people said that, but hey, it was a decent chapter. We do have a break next week, which is unfortunate, but hopefully everything's all right with Oda. But if you guys enjoy regular reviews like these, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. That are my name is Potential Unleashed, and let's get into chapter 1116's review. The chapter, it starts off with Emu looking at an image of Queen Lili, and I'm not gonna lie, I know like she's important because she's the one that started, or got the poneglyphs to be scattered and kind of started the Great Pirate Era. But the way that Emu is obsessed with this woman, and not just her having like the portrait of her, but Vivi as well, it's a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie. She, or at least the women of the Nefaltari family, they've gotta be some of the most important characters in the series, and for the end game at least. I want to know why Emu is so obsessed with them, because what we saw in this portrait, and also during the reverie, he had the picture of Vivi in his hand. So I want to know why Emu is so obsessed with them. We also see different individuals of Alabasta. They are reacting to Vivi being missing. We also see Cobra, his funeral. I don't know if it's happening now, if it happened in the past, or if they're just here mourning Cobra since he was killed during the reverie. Vegapunk, he talks about the Mother Flame, how it's supposed to be the power source in order to give the world endless energy. However, he talks about how a portion of the Mother Flame was stolen, and that's what caused the nuking of Lelouch and the man-made, hole in Lelouch, and the man-made tremors and earthquakes, and just affecting the topography of the One Piece world. As I mentioned in my breakdown about Stussy, how she is technically free to do whatever she wants, she talks about in the last chapter how Stella, he's dead, and how she doesn't know what all she's going to do. Where Edison, he then tells her in this chapter how Stussy, well, first off, she wants to let Kaku go, because I find it funny. She's like, well, I mean, he ain't gonna really do much to straws anyways, but she wants to let him go and be free because, and you saw a little bit of Kaku, his emotions in the last chapter, but they became friends. And Stussy, her being the clone, she never really had that, and this just shows that she's human, that she was able to make these bonds. And we've seen Kaku, I don't think he's necessarily a bad individual or truly evil. I think he's just working for the world government, following orders. So I like that Stussy is going to set him free. And personally, I think after all of this, I don't even think Kaku is going to try to stop her or anything. I love seeing different people's reactions, because unlike now where we have access to social media, the internet, everything, we know when different things happen around the world. In the One Piece verse, I believe it's supposed to be bigger than Earth, number one, but number two, even though they have different forms of technology like the Den mushies, and we see like Frankie, he creates different machines and different things, and Vegapunk as well as different scientists. They don't have the internet, they don't have cellular devices. So if a country is wiped out, unless you were there, like what happened with Sabo and bringing them to the Revolutionary Army's base at Kimabaka Kingdom, or Kimabaka, I think it's Kimabaka Kingdom. Anyways, nobody's gonna know. And so the king of, I forget what kingdom, but I know he's the individual that could use the King's Punch. He didn't even realize that Lelouch was nuked. And so this is shocking that an island of that magnitude was just wiped out. Vegapunk, he's apologizing because even though technically he wasn't the person that pulled the trigger, right, and caused Lelouch to be destroyed, he created the power source and gave it to the individuals, the world. Well, he didn't give it to them, but it was stolen by the world government, and they used it for evil deeds, so he apologizes for it. And we know how Momo, he's reacted to it, as well as Crocodile. We see this because of how those two are connected to different ancient weapons, and we know that an ancient weapon was what wiped out the Lucia, and we know that the ancient weapons also was what allowed the world to sink in the past. We also saw different Marines reactions. We see Sengoku, as well as, I believe they're on Tsuru, their ship, and a lot of people are speculating that they're going to go and save Garp. It could happen. I'm not really sure, but if I had to bet, I mean, they have nothing else to lose. They're pretty much retired at this point. We'll see a Kainu, and a lot of people are calling him a fraud. You know, he sits behind his desk, he can't really do much, but he's reacting to this as well. And he's like, Vegapunk, you kind of need to shut the fluff up, because he's revealing a lot of stuff. And this honestly might be the last chapter where we're getting some information done. It is revealed that the Pirates King's crew, they know about the truth of the world, and this happened when they went to Lafta. This isn't anything new to us, but it's new to the rest of the world. And it also showcases why specifically them, even though they're retired. We saw how Rayleigh, he would still be pursued, and they wouldn't take down his bounty poster. I don't know exactly how that works, but I assume after a certain time period, once somebody gets to a certain age, maybe they might remove the bounty poster or the bounty on someone. However, because the Roger Pirates, and it's not just Rayleigh, but that's pretty much who we see throughout the series, but we see Crocus and probably Gabon and other individuals as well. That's why they have so much weight, and that's why the world government wants to silence them. We also find out the individual that stole the Mother Flame and gave it to the world government isn't surprising. It is York. We know that she betrayed Stella a long time ago because she wants to be a celestial dragon. However, she figures out exactly where the broadcast transponders know is happening, and apparently it's being guarded by the ancient robot. So if they couldn't really defeat him back in the day, it better have some good luck, because they're going to have to try and defeat this robot that wreaked havoc such a long time ago. The chapter ends with different people questioning why the Roger Pirates, if they knew about the truth of the world, why didn't they act on it? And we see Rayleigh, he is drunk. He's talking about Vegapunk, you're revealing all this information. You'll spoil the youngsters' fun. Isn't that right, Roger? We see him kind of passed out a little bit on the counter of the bar. We'll see Shaki that loves seeing her as always. Really good stuff, especially because of how this is going to probably change the perspective of some of the individuals that viewed the Roger Pirates. A lot of people view pirates as evil and that they're in the wrong and the Marines are right. But if they had access to this, know the truth of the world, and when it gets revealed, maybe they'll look at the Roger Pirates in a different light, see Roger as not just some bad individual, and maybe even regret why the world government killed him. And then there's Ace, because he's his son and he was executed just simply because of that fact. I think a lot of people will have some backlash towards the world government. But let me know how you guys feel about the chapter in the comment section below. As I mentioned, I believe there's supposed to be a break next week. Hopefully everything's all right with Oda. But if you guys enjoy regular reviews like these, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.